And he had let Phil go and brought in another coach. And like a couple weeks into that season, he let that coach go. And then it was kind of like, well, who are you going to hire? And I thought he was going to bring Phil back.
Oh my God, me too.
And he really wanted to coach you.
Yes, it was crazy because.
All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So I was browsing like I always do, and I saw this video pop up from a podcast I've actually never watched. Seems like everyone's got a podcast these days. This is Dwight Howard's podcast. It is called Above the Rim with DH12. And the title of this video is Jeanie Buss confesses the truth about the Lakers' relationship with Dwight Howard plus Kobe beef. Now, I thought this would be interesting because after watching the Legacy documentary about the Lakers, I now know that Jeanie was not in charge of basketball operations during this time. Jim Buss was. And her father was basically, Jerry Buss basically had stepped away. He was still there in charge, but he really was leaving the business end to Jeanie and the basketball end to Jim. And that's what led to Phil Jackson getting fired. And I know there's a big misconception out there that Phil Jackson walked away. No, he got fired. And then Phil Jackson even wanted to come back to coach this team with Dwight Howard, Kobe, and Nash, but Jim denied it. So knowing all this now, because I recently watched this documentary, I'm very, very interested to see what Dwight Howard and Jeanie are going to say about this in a podcast. So yeah, I'm not going to waste any time. The link is down below in the description if you want to watch this podcast without me. Everybody else, please leave a like to this video. Let's get right into this.
I haven't talked about this in so long. My first time playing for the Lakers.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
Oh my.
Okay, wait. Before we get into that, can we talk about what is this green screen background? This looks so weird, dude. What is this?
God, that was 20.
No, it was 2012.
2012.
2012. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was such a whirlwind. It was such a whirlwind for me. And I just remember coming from Orlando and everything that was going on. Like, I was so, like, beat up because I had this back surgery.
Yeah.
All these things happening in media. Oh, he's flip-flopping. He doesn't want to get traded, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, man, like, this is really, really, I didn't know how to handle this because I'm 18 coming into the league. I know at that time I was a little bit older, but I don't know what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
You know, and
Little tidbit, according to Kobe Bryant, the very first phone conversation he had with Dwight Howard, D. Howard immediately asked Kobe, where the cool clubs at in LA? You got to show me all the cool clubs. And Kobe immediately knew, oh crap, this isn't going to work, is it?
I don't know who to run to. I don't know who to really get advice from. I don't know people that are giving me advice or telling me the right advice. You know, so it's so much going on, and that year was just crazy. It's just crazy, and I just sitting back after the year, looking back now, I'm like, man, I just wish that I didn't allow my emotions to get the best of me, because I didn't really understand what was going on.
Well, you were probably getting pulled a lot of different ways.
I was.
And you really didn't have time to build trust with your Laker teammates or your Laker front office or me or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, when you came, it was like, oh, wow, this is our next, you know, guy.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be here for a long time.
Yeah, it made perfect sense. It was like Kobe Shaq 2.0 is the way I saw it at the time. Was like, oh my God, it's going to happen all over again.
And, you know, and you have to understand from my point of view. I mean, my dad, Dr. Buss, was still alive, but he had, his health was failing.
Yeah.
And we had just signed the largest broadcast agreement to broadcast our games. And that was the first year that we were going on the air with our own Laker network.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. I remember.
Laker Network. Laker fans, let me know what that is. So something started in 2012. A Laker Network. I'm not aware of this.
And, so it was so great to be able to kick it off with you. And, but then, my brother, Jimmy, was running basketball. I wasn't involved in any of the basketball decisions. And
Yeah.
at that time, I was in a relationship with Phil Jackson. And he had let Phil go and brought in another coach. And
Okay, just because I get so much pushback, I'm just going to rewind this real quick. Listen closely. Anybody who's in the comments already saying Phil Jackson didn't get fired, here it is from the sister of the. I mean, obviously she was running. I don't even have to explain it. Just listen. There's no way this is a lie.
in a relationship with Phil Jackson. And he had let Phil go and brought in another coach. And a couple weeks into that season, he let that coach go. And then it was kind of like, well, who are you going to hire? And I thought he was going to bring Phil back.
Oh my God, me too.
And he really wanted to coach you.
Yes, it was crazy because a couple of days before that, I had talked to Phil on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he was like, he wanted to coach me. And for me, when I heard that,
Yeah.
Even now, I'm getting in my chills in my body because I'm like, this is in high school. My coach ran the triangle offense.
No, I didn't know
Yes,
that.
he ran the
Whoa.
triangle offense because of Phil Jackson.
Man, I never got to actually be involved in a triangle offense. That's really cool. Really cool that Phil had a personal conversation with him. Because from what I understand from the documentary, it was all lined up. Like Phil was supposed to come back. Phil was supposed to coach this team. But then Jim at the last minute said, nah, let's go with D'Antoni.
Because he wanted me to get acclimated into that system, like playing in the triangle. We had a good guard who actually played for the Lakers too, Javaris Crittenton.
Right.
He was out of jail now, so thank you, Jesus, that he's at home with his family.
Oh, that's great.
That's so amazing. But we ran our triangle, and so when I'm talking to Phil, I'm like, man, I've been wanting this my whole life to be able to, one, play with Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And get coached by Phil Jackson and run the triangle offense. Like, this is perfect. He always does great with bigs.
Right.
So that was what I was thinking. And so he told me he's gonna he said he's gonna check with his doctors to see if he'll be able to do a weight.
It's funny. You could see the reaction from Jeanie, like the what if. You know, if it wasn't for her damn brother, what if?
He said he's gonna check with his doctors to see if he'll be able to do away games, because right now he will only be able to stay at home.
Right.
So I'm like, well, that's fine, like as long as you're coaching. And then 2 days later, they signed Mike.
Yep.
I know.
And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if this is gonna go well for me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a selfish thing, like personal, but I'm like, I don't know if his style is the style that's going to be really good for me.
Well, we had Steve Nash on the team, so it was they reunited what they had done in Phoenix by bringing
Him
Mike back.
I mean, in theory, in basketball talk, it could have worked out if everyone was healthy. I mean, the first thing I thought when D'Antoni got hired was, first of all, what the hell? Why wasn't Phil hired? Because that was supposed to happen. Didn't happen. But then with Mike D'Antoni, I started thinking, okay, run and gun, Nash, Kobe on the perimeter, pick and roll between Nash and Dwight Howard. Oh, snap. You know, this could still work. But health. It was all health.
Clearly, the choice was to go all in on Steve instead of really what would work best for you. And so I understood why you left, but it like broke my heart because Phil thought he was going to come back because he did get cleared physically. And so he let them know.
Yeah.
And then they called at midnight to tell him that they had hired Mike instead. And it was hard for me. And then everything just kind of.
Yeah, it broke my heart too.
Yeah,
like,
it all fell apart from there.
And the whole season did, because I just felt like we didn't get a chance.
Right.
And it's true, though, like what Jeannie's saying there, because hiring Mike D'Antoni favored Steve Nash and saying, we're going to ride with him. And I get it, 2-time MVP, but Nash had a bad back at this point, and he was at the tail end of his career. So to kind of like build around a guy on his final year always struck me as weird. Now, Dwight Howard, even though I'm not a big fan of Dwight Howard, I recognize his game and what his capabilities are. Them going with D'Antoni basically just turned their back on Dwight Howard, because Phil Jackson would have been a much better option with a moving offense like that for a lot of opportunities for Dwight Howard to just dominate in the post. But yeah, this is all hearsay. Never happened.
And, we had so many injuries.
Yep.
The coaching situation. Then I feel like I didn't understand how to handle the media at that point with the Kobe dynamic with myself. And it's like I felt like they were putting us between each other.
Yeah,
and
Phil Jackson could have helped a lot with that and balancing the egos. And also, Phil Jackson would have never let Kobe play as many minutes as Kobe was playing. D'Antoni admitted it, recently in a podcast. He didn't know how to tell Kobe no. Kobe said he wants to play. He's going to let Kobe play. But Phil knew how to talk with Kobe. They had a good relationship. So he could have been, like, ease up. Your body's going to fail you if you keep this up. And, well, we all know what happened, and he tore his Achilles.
Absolutely.
Ways, and I didn't know how to deal with that because I'm this young buck who just came from my own situation.
Right.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't even, to be honest, a lot of this stuff is it's like it happened in a blur.
Yeah.
So, like, going back on it, like, hell, I was so heartbroken that I had to leave. But at the same time, I was mad, too, because I'm like, I don't want to leave.
Know, right?
I do not want to leave this place. But, like, I was just like, man, they went and got Mike. They didn't want to get Phil. So I'm, like, thinking to myself, they must really don't. I don't know if I'm going to be that next person that's supposed to be here. And I'm like.
Between that and Kobe, every practice calling him Charmin. You soft. Yeah, I don't think Dwight Howard was built to be a teammate of somebody like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, for that matter. He can't handle the heat.
Hey, man, but I want to be in L.A.
I know.
And then it didn't happen. It didn't work out. I do remember the last playoff series against San Antonio. And they kind of made a big deal because I wanted to clarify something, and it's never been clarified. They showed something. I got kicked out the game, the last game.
Oh, yeah, that guy jumped on your back.
Yeah, I got 2 texts, and I was telling the ref, like, yo, they're kicking,
yeah.
They're killing me down here. Like, y'all
yeah.
got to do something.
Yeah.
And they gave me another tech. And as I'm walking out, who was the GM at the time?
Mitch.
Mitch Kupchak.
Yeah, Kupchak.
He came to give me a hug. And I guess with the cameras, they thought I was saying something bad to him. And I gave him a hug. I said, they got to do something about the refs, man. I'm hurting.
Somebody just got a quick tee here.
He's flailing all over the place, though. I don't know about this. Because he's initiating a lot of this contact.
I'm hurting.
Hold up.
Somebody just got a quick tee here. He's out of the game. That's his second technical.
What a way to end the year if this is the last game for the Lakers.
Why was that called a technical, though? Well, you must have had words with the ref. Never mind.
Dwight Howard has been ejected from the game. All the way back. That is all we will see from Dwight in this crazy year.
And it wasn't nothing against him or the team. I was just so frustrated because they were letting them beat the crap out of me that game, and it was nothing I could do about it.
They were going after your back.
And I just had back surgery.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking back now to Shaq's career. What I just saw there versus what I saw happen to Shaq on a daily basis on the court, this was nothing. They would just, I mean, people were just hitting Shaq, you know, hitting him, elbowing him, punching him in the back, you know, shoving him all over the place, holding onto his arms. This was not something to get a double tech over, Dwight.
And so I never got that clarified. I didn't want people to think that I was so mad that I'm trying to get kicked out the game because I didn't want to play. Like, I put my whole body on the line for the Lakers that year, knowing that, first of all, I wasn't even supposed to play this season. I had just got back from the back surgery.
Yep.
I tore my labrum that year. And I still played because I was just like, man, I'm playing for the Lakers. And I remember having a conversation with your dad before he passed, because he wanted to meet with me.
Yeah, he did.
And we had a conversation. I remember him telling me, he was like, Dwight, you're the person I've been wanting on this team for so long.
That is true.
And I was like, are you for real? He was like, yes, man, you have it. You have it in you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is crazy. Like, he's telling me this. And then we have the season that we have, and then I leave. And it's been bothering me so much since, because I'm like, why did I leave? What was I thinking? I don't, like, all this stuff.
Then Kobe got hurt. That's when he tore his Achilles.
He tore
was
his
against
Achilles.
in going into that playoffs. And so, I guess things just happened that way. Like we wouldn't have had a team that you could have won on, and so
it was so much. But then it's just like, after that, oh my God, I couldn't go nowhere. The Laker Nation was on my ass. Everywhere I went, oh my God, I was like, fans, this had nothing to do with you guys. Please. I'm talking about every city I played in. It was like when what's his name who dated Kim Kardashian?
Chris Humphries.
Chris Humphries. After he dated her, he got booed every time he went to another city and touched a basketball. That's what it was like for me. Like, every place I went, yeah, you left the Lakers. I'm like, oh man. And so then I remember going back to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And this time it was like
LeBronto.
It was crazy. I wasn't like in my prime or anything like that. And I had just came off back surgery again.
Right.
So I'm just coming off back surgery. I remember the whole summer. I was playing for Washington. I had to have back surgery, and it was crazy because I was playing with this pain in my back.
There's nothing worse.
It was so bad, I couldn't sit on the bench. I had to stand up the whole game unless I laid down. I couldn't sit down on the plane. They had to give me a air mattress bed that they made so I can lay down on the plane. I had to stand up all the bus rides to the hotel and to the airplane, all that stuff. And then on game days, one of the trainers had to put my shoes on and tie them for me because I couldn't reach down and tie them. And I'm still out there playing. And so
was it the same injury?
Same injury,
And what
lower
was
disc. It was
just
L4,
disc?
L5. Then
Okay.
it was L4, L5, and then the next one was L5, S1.
Okay.
So when I went to the Lakers, both times I got this much taken out of my back. Both times before the season. And so I remember being in Washington. I told them I got to have surgery because I can't bear this pain no more. I had the surgery, it was successful. I start trying to do my rehab, but they wanted me to come back fast. And I'm like, no, I'm going to hurt myself.
Right.
So I asked him, I said, can you just give me the summer? I'm going to come back in the best shape of my life. I'm going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, and we're going to win the championship. I promise you. They cut me. Well, actually, they didn't cut me. They traded me to Memphis. I called Memphis, and I asked them, can I come down and meet the players and do a mini camp just to get the team together? The owner says, we don't have room for you on the roster. And so I'm like, damn. Okay. So I say, all right, I'm finna go get to it. So I start training. I lose 30 pounds in 30 days. I think my agent at the time called Rob or something. Y'all wanted me to come out to LA. And I came out to LA solo. Nobody came with me. Got to the facility, worked out in front of Rob, and that was history. It was like they signed me, y'all signed me right away. And then the season was just like, perfect. I knew we was gonna win.
Yeah, it was the bubble championship year. It was a COVID year.
From the time that I signed till we won, it was no doubt in my mind that we was gonna win. Because every game, it's like we knew it. It was like nobody can beat us. Nobody can beat us.
That was interesting. That was really interesting. Yeah. If this piques your interest at all, guys, I highly recommend checking out the documentary, the docuseries, Dynasty, or I'm sorry, Legacy, the Lakers docuseries. I think it came out in 2022. I totally didn't know about it until about just a few weeks ago, really, and I got hooked. And I mean, it's very similar to like the Last Dance format, but it goes chronological, so it's not doing the back and forth between time. And I mean, nothing beats the Last Dance, but I thought it was really interesting because we get little tidbits like this all over the place, little facts and things I didn't know because I only knew what the media told me, and you know what the media does. It's like 80% lies. So getting to actually hear these testimonials from the actual people who were there and having these conversations and making these decisions, I find it very interesting. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you know Phil Jackson was fired and then was basically, they kind of baited him into coming back, and then Jim all of a sudden was like, haha, just kidding. Even after Phil got medically cleared, he's like, nah, sorry, we're going with Mike D'Antoni. Because I mean, I knew it at the time, but it was covered up back then. So it wasn't until I saw the docuseries that I was like, okay, I thought that's what happened, but I never truly understood what it was. But it turns out it was just Jim Buss. All right, everyone, I'm out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We'll have a conversation about it like we always do. I appreciate you all watching. Please leave this one a like if you could. Push this one out a little bit. Drop a comment down below. It'll help this video get out, and then we can clear this up with a lot of people, because a lot of people have this whole thing of history just really confused. And right here, you got it right out of the horse's mouth, right here. And if you wanted to even a third person for confirmation, watch a documentary. You'll see it. Phil Jackson will talk about it too. So, all right, I'm out of here, everybody. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Have a wonderful day.